about me and that you want to know. That's what you love about me? Awesome. Yay. Are we having a good con? Yes. Yeah. There's Wookie by the door there. Say hello to him. Keeping us all safe. Yes.
Really? That's all I get?
He's holding an axe for crying out loud. Give him some love. Yeah.
Give him some love. No. Give him some love. There you go.
Thank you. You're hired.
Hey, Jason.
Yes.
Actually, if we go to a roller coaster, did they ask you to not to ride since you was kind of short?
Oh, hey, what? If I go on a roller coaster, will they ask me not to ride because I'm not tall enough?
Yeah.
Sometimes. No. I just make the height requirement. Thank you very much. Yay, excellent. Or I just wear special shoes. You know.
It's okay, I'm 4'10", so.
Yay, tiny people.
I'm 5'4", so I'm really short. So.
Awesome, right? Dynamite comes in small packages. That's what my nan always told me.
Or poison.
I'm 5'7".
Hey, look at Kevin Hart. He's short too.
Are we having a good Metrocon so far?
Yeah.
Yes? Excellent. This is day 3. What are we doing tonight? Give me some highlights.
Partying.
Partying?
I'm gonna go to
Did you like to watch people play with fire?
Saw that last night. What's tonight? Lip sync battle?
I'm gonna go to the talent show and sing.
The talent show and sing? What are you going to sing?
Poison Kiss by Quartet Night.
Poison Kiss by what?
Quartet Night from Untitled.
By Ted Knight, the guy from
No,
Too Close for
Quartet
Comfort?
Night.
I don't know if you knew that show. Right on. I'll just talk to you guys. Who was at the fire show last night? That was pretty groovy. Yeah. Who went and tried that back in your hotel room? Yeah? I did. Not staying at that hotel anymore.
Oh no, you're banned?
Got banned from the hotel. Like, they don't want you to spin fire. No poi in the hotel room. It's crazy. I'm open to, I'm open to questions. Anyone have any questions about Mars? What makes me tick? Yes, lip sync battle, Ted Knight.
So I wanted to know, have you watched any other Studio Ghibli movies, and which one is your favorite besides Spirit?
Have I watched any other Studio Ghibli movies besides Spirited Away, which I was fortunate to be in? Yeah. Howl's Moving Castle, yes. Yes. Which I enjoyed immensely. I think that's it. Yeah, I need to watch me some more Miyazaki. Yes. Okay. All right. Sorry. It's horrible that. Hi. Oh, you look outstanding. Rainbow bright. Yes. Us both apparently. There's a reboot we need. Rainbow bright, especially in this day and age. You know. What's your favorite Ghibli movie?
Everyone's probably gonna shun me for it, but...
No shunning here. We'll welcome whatever she says.
Grave of the Firefly. Oh, no.
Rainbow Bright is shedding putting some shade on that.
Grave of the Fireflies because it made me cry buckets of tears, and even though he said he
You don't watch anymore?
One time and he couldn't watch it anymore, and then I watched it once very young.
Yeah.
Then I watched it again because I forgot what happened because I was too young. I watched it again when I was older, and then I watched it one more time in Japanese because I just wanted to get the.
Sure, you have to. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I cried.
It's called what?
Yeah. Grave of the Fireflies.
Grave of the Fireflies? I haven't even heard of that one.
Yeah. The voice of Yu-Gi-Oh!
I thought that was the one with the pig that flies the plane.
That's a different one. Yeah, a different one, and that's a lot happier.
It's not.
It is happier? I would hope so. A pig flying a plane sounds pretty cool.
It's really emotional.
But it's a Miyazaki movie?
It's kind of nostalgic from the era.
Okay.
Yeah, which is also really sad.
All right.
I don't know, like.
And, that's fantastic. So Jose has brought up a video that me and my friend Philomar and Matt King did. It was kind of like our are at the time, like there were all these immigrant shakedowns happening near the border, and we were just doing our take on it, like being Canadians. It's called Kiss My Ass, AZ.
Yeah.
You can look it up.
I see it right now.
Thank you. Jose's just showing me random stuff that I've done on YouTube.
Yeah.
Who wants to? You want to know about voiceover? Yes. Yeah. We want to know how to get in it. Who wants to be? Raise your hand if you want to be a voice actor. Lots of hands. Right on.
Amateurish.
Amateurish?
I like to,
You want to be kind of amateurish, kind of professional?
Well, I do storyboarding and animatics for
All right.
for a major, so I kind of have to do that anyway.
Sure. You have to put the voice in while you're doing it.
Yeah,
previous?
so
Okay.
I gotta always channel the character regardless if it's a dude or a woman. I sound like a man either way, so they're always like, Ashley, go be this man. I'm like, I always sound like a teeth woman.
Well, that's to your advantage. And, you know, why is it more advantageous for women to be in voiceover?
Because we can be little boys.
Because you can be little boys.
Let's catch them.
It's like you get twice the auditions.
Yeah.
You know? You know how many jobs I've lost to Tara Strong? All of them. I wanted Twilight Sparkle so bad. I thought I nailed that one. Tara got it. Oh, of course, Tara got it. Well, let's see. How do we get into voiceover? Let me get. Can I give you my spiel?
Yeah.
My point of view here. All right. So let's test your metal here. Who's you know who Mel Blanc is?
Yeah.
Thank goodness. You'd be surprised how many cons I've been to, specifically talking about voiceover, and people don't know who Mel Blanc is. All right. So I don't have to like gush about like how many characters he's done, right? Like name some Mel Blanc characters. What else? What else? What else? Yep. What else?
Granny.
Yeah, who?
Granny.
No, that was June Foray.
Oh, was it?
Yes.
I always thought it was Lopez.
Porky Pig.
Fred Flintstone, no, he was Barney Rubble. Yeah, close. Who?
Porky Pig.
Porky Pig?
I think that's really good. Jose, wasn't he also Daffy Duck?
He was also Daffy Duck, that's right.
Yes.
What made him so good?
Very versatile.
Versatile, he was what? A good actor, you nailed it, that's right. He was a good actor. If you could close your eyes, I guarantee you could tell the difference between Sylvester the Cat and Daffy Duck. They sound really similar, they both have lisp. But distinct personalities. And a gifted performer can do that. And Mel Blanc was an outstanding, gifted performer. So people who say they want to get into voice acting, let's just talk about animation specifically, because there's so many different facets of it. There is commercial, there's video game, there's promo narration. Coming up next, it's this, followed by that, only on CBS, or in a world. A meteor comes down to Earth. That's a specific skill set,
Yeah.
Don LaFontaine, yeah. I mean, I'd say, I don't know if Don did a lot of animation, I'm sure he did, but,
He was known for
movie trailers, yeah, he was the go-to guy, My friend Rito Romano, he's like a trailer promo guy. You hear him all over Fox. He was the voice of the Batman cartoon, and I worked with him in Extreme Ghostbusters. He kind of does a little bit of both. Anime, I mean, that's a whole other facet. We'll talk about that in a second. But you have to decide, let's just talk about animation. A lot of people come up and say, hey, my friends say that I do a great Bugs Bunny, and I should get into voice acting. You're rolling your eyes. That's what I do on the inside. I don't try to do that to your face.
Because I don't like that. Like,
Or I'll be with my buddy Bill Farmer, the voice of Goofy, and people come up to his table. He's like, "Oh, hey, I'm Goofy, oh, yuck," and he's so polite about it, and like, "Oh yeah, I could probably get your job."
Good impressionists don't make good actors.
Correct. Good impressions don't make good actors. Here's a great example. We watched The Simpsons. Heard of The Simpsons?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in 1998, it was really getting huge, really building in popularity, and shows like that start to make gobs of money. And the actors on the show decided, I think we'd like a little bit more than scale for the show, And Fox said, well, okay, thank you for your request. We're going to replace you. And they sent out a casting call. I got the phone call from my agent, which is weird because my agent also handles Dan Castellaneta. He's like, so Jason, how's your Homer Simpson? I'm like, oh, it's pretty good. I mean, I do a pretty good impression. Don't It's like, well, they're doing this. Do you want to, they want to read for Homer Simpson? I'm like, oh no, no. Are you kidding? Yeah. I'm not going to touch that with a 10-foot pole. That's Dan's role. I would ruin that. Are you kidding? Not to say that I would book it, but I can't hold a candle to Dan Castellaneta. I don't have his insides. I don't have his brilliant mind. I cannot perform Homer Simpson. Like, he's created that voice. I'm like, give him the money. And everybody in my peer group, everybody turned down that job. I hope everybody did. And thankfully, they stood their ground, and Fox ponied up some money, a lot more money, and they're thankfully still in it. But that's an example of like even I know, like, I do a good impression, but I'm not Dan Castellaneta, you know. So I always say, you want to get into voiceover, you got to be a good actor. Take scene study, you know. Take drama. Theatrical improv. Improv is great. If you don't want drama, it's so much fun. It gets you out of your head, teaches you to think on the spot, and you're supposed to, because like what actors are being paid to do is to be vulnerable in like a drop of a hat, you know? Especially voice actors, animation, you gotta be silly, you gotta be able to like fool yourself.
It's mostly acting, it's not.
Yeah, it's about being vulnerable, you know? And a lot of people are, you know, I'll say, you know, I do a great impression of a Goofy. I'm like, well, let's hear it. Like, oh, well, I don't want to do it right now. I'm like, well, then, bam. And if you can't do it right now, then you gotta reevaluate if you want to do this or not. You know. Then okay, so you take acting lessons, you take scene study, you take improv. You're super comfortable with yourself. Now what? You want to get into animation? Still talk about animation. So you got to do a reel. A reel. I'd say 90 seconds. 90 seconds of your best voices, impressions, your character range. Me, I don't do a lot of impressions. My thing is like, I sound kind of young, so I'll do, or like I do heroes or like arrogant dudes. So I'll do like a couple of lines of that, and maybe I'll try a little bit younger, you know, maybe like high school age. Maybe I'll try a little bit younger, like, you know, maybe like 12, or I'm like, well, younger than that, I can go through puberty, maybe even younger, if say I want to be like 8 years old, you know. Maybe even younger than that, you know, like maybe I'll get toddler. But then Tara Strong will get that role, so like, really. If you were doing impressions, don't do Bugs Bunny, don't do Christopher Walken. Why? Because everybody does those. Like, what's going to separate you from your competition? Because there is a lot of competition. There's a lot more competition than when I was starting out, you know? So you got to think about that, like 90 seconds of what's going to, you know, put you in front of everybody else. And then you look around your community. It's safe to say everyone here is local?
Yeah.
No, Ash is not local.
South Florida.
South Florida? Okay. No?
I'm Orlando.
New York? Orlando? Well, I know Orlando has an industry. I don't know how big it is now, but I know that there are voice actors there. I don't think there's animation, but look in your community and see what's available. I live in Nashville, and I know we have several Facebook groups that are dedicated to like Nashville auditions, Nashville voiceover, Nashville acting.
I actually have a couple of Facebook groups.
Awesome.
For voiceover and stuff like that.
Yeah, do you search those, and does that help you get opportunities?
Yeah, I'm doing a couple right now. Nothing too big, but just something to get me started. And all that
That's
stuff.
fantastic.
Yeah.
See, perfect. What's your name again?
Melanie.
Melanie has a great, you know, she's doing it. Just get a some credits under your belt, get some experience, and then while you're doing that, just go ahead and send maybe get a headshot. I don't know, you don't need one, but just let people know what you look like, and send to agencies. Submit to agencies. If you really want to do it, you got to go to like New York or LA though, you know. So that's animation, like promo narration. Obviously, you do a reel of like, coming up next, it's this. Coming up here, next at Metrocon. That's like the stereotypical, you know, voice of promo. Commercials got to be really grounded. That's where these acting chops come in. Because commercials that if you hear on the radio these days are just like usually like conversations. So they want something really conversational, good with improv, that sort of thing. You want to do it. What I did is I just went through magazines I like to read, and I cut out ads that resonate to me. Like I like whiskey, I like music, I like, you know, certain cars. So I'll find those and I'll read those like taglines, And again, like 90 seconds, super tight. You can sweeten it if you want, give it, if you're good at like adding music or sound effects, whatnot, that's cool. Maybe you know someone that does that. You can do it on an Apple product these days, everything. Or if you maybe invest some money, go to a studio and have an engineer do it. Sometimes it's like $400, maybe a little bit more to produce a good reel. And then you saturate out there, and then with any luck, I hope that I get to share a mic with you someday in the future. So, do you have any questions on that? Jose, I had a feeling.
Okay. So how was it work with Jim Carrey?
How was it to work with Jim Carrey? Well, that's a segue. Who's seen Fun with Dick and Jane? So, Fun with Dick and Jane with Taya Leone and Jim Carrey. There's a scene in the movie where Jim Carrey he's going to rob a convenience store, and who's in the convenience store but this guy trying to read a magazine, and it was great. That was a fun job because I was driving to a friend's screening, and and this never happens. I got a phone call from a casting agent saying, "Hey, what are you doing right now?" I'm going to a screening. He's like, "Do you want to be in a Jim Carrey movie?" I'm like, "Let me think." Of course, the answer was yes. So my wife dropped me off. We turned around. She dropped me off at the set, and then went back to the screening, and I got to be in the movie. So the gag is like he's trying to rob a convenience store because I'm not intimidating. I'm tiny Mars, and then I go on break, and the guy that replaces me is like this big intimidating dude. Now the guy, and it was a last minute replacement. Who knows the comedian Brian Posehn? He's a giant dude, and he was the one that was playing the first guy, and the gag visually didn't work. But Jim was great. He was funny. His process was interesting to watch. Like he just kind of because the gag is he's trying to rob it. He can't get the gun out of his hoodie, so they literally sewed the pocket shut so he couldn't get his hand out, and he's trying to pull it out, and he does it over and over again until he likes it. I was trying not to laugh. It was fun. Does anyone have any questions about voiceover? Yes, young lady. What's up, T-Rex?
Did you get an agent right away for your voice career, or did you have how long before you needed an agent, or did you have one right away?
I got one right away. I was 12 when I started acting. I moved from Rhode Island to Los Angeles, and everyone's telling my parents "Oh, your son's cute, get him in acting." This is mid to late 80s, so I fit the mold. If you go back to 80s television, it's always like white dudes, blonde or brunette hair, bowl cut, and I was the brunette bowl cut dude. Fit that model. There was no diversity, so it was bam, right place, right time. I can't say talent. I think my talent grew because I just didn't know what I was doing. But I went to a workshop in Irvine, California. They trained me for 12 weeks, sent me to an agent. Agent immediately signed me because I had that look. He's like, "Cha-ching, I know I can do this guy." Sent me out for everything. The very next day, commercial, television, feature film, and I kind of liken acting to gambling, professional gambling. We're all just going to the table, placing our bets. Maybe we'll hit it, And even when we get the role, there's no telling what the project's going to be. If it's going to be a hit, There's no longevity really. But I got an agent right away, and I think circumstances on my side.
So what was the transition period then between, since you're such a heavy voice actor now, so you started as an actor, and then now you're more known for voice, no?
Yes, I understand what you're saying. I've always done voiceover since, even when I was younger. It was just, the fortunate thing is, you can, even though you're gambling, you can play different games at the same time. So I was doing television and I did voiceover. I was a busy kid. I had a great natural quality, and I was good with impressions when I was younger. And I had remember the movie Aladdin? Yeah. Robin Williams. They did a TV series of it, and Robin Williams was not doing the television series. And I'm like, I want to read for that. So I wrote my own monologue and did as many impressions as I could, and showed it to my agent. Did it for him. I was like, "You think I could read for this?" He's like, "Hold on." And I was in the kids division, and he walked me upstairs to the adult division. I auditioned for them. They're like, "Hold on." They took me in the room with all the other agents. I did it for them again, and bam, they started sending me out a lot more a lot more voiceover stuff, and I got to be more well known in that arena. It was also at the time, like I said, there's a lot more competition now. There wasn't as much, and I maybe right place, right time, maybe a little more talent. I don't know. And then after, I mean, admittedly, I don't want to say I got burnt out because it wasn't my choice, but I started working more voiceover than on camera. And it just, the business was changing. Voiceover is less pretentious. You know, the voice actors are amazing. We can, like, I talked with Rob Paulson about this. Who knows Rob Paulson? Yeah. He and I talked about this on his podcast. Like we read for the same cartoon, and I booked it. And then over the weekend, they're like, yeah, you know what, we want to go a different direction. And it was Rob. And I was bummed because I really wanted that job. And I went and they gave me another role. And I said this to him, like, I don't know if he knew that they replaced me, but he just came in and he was Rob. He was like happy-go-lucky. He's like, man, this is great what we do. That we can audition and it doesn't matter if I book it or you book it because like I can't do what you do. Like I can't be Kevin Michael Richardson. Like if I read against Kevin Michael Richardson, he books it. It's because Kevin's Kevin, man. I can't do Kevin. Kevin can do Kevin. So I love being part of a community that's like that. It's so supportive and it's fun. And I'm working with guys I used to work with when I was a kid. Am I babbling?
No.
Okay. Did I cover your question?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Anyone else? Yes?
This is related to voice acting, but...
That's fine. Does it involve me?
Why do you have drumsticks?
Do I have drumsticks? Why do I have drumsticks? I have been, I turned 40 3 years ago, and I was like, for my midlife crisis, I don't need a motorcycle. I don't want to, jump out of a plane. I always want to play drums, and so I bought a drum kit, and I've been learning, and I consider myself like a jack of all trades, master of none. But I really, really, really want to be good at the drums. And sorry, it wasn't what you expected. I really want to be good at the drums. So I practice every chance I get, and I bring with me at my table if it's a downtime, I have my drum pad, and I can just kind of practice while people talk to me. Yes. Yes, young lady.
I played drums in the 7th grade band. I took a break from singing to do that.
Yeah.
And you hold the same way I do. A lot of people hold them this way, but I learned it that way.
Traditional grip.
Yeah.
That's right. The Buddy Rich.
You can't do it the other way.
I, as it was presented to me, I chose to do it this way. My instructor's like, you don't have to. You can do it like this if you want. Like, yeah, but traditional. I want to keep the tradition alive, and I'm used to it. They did it like this because of it's like in marching band. They would wear the snare around their waist. It was on an angle, so it was easier just to do this than this. But I dig it. Glad you noticed. Yes. Someone else had a question. Ash. I'm only going to do this side of the room. I decided.
Since you mentioned in Tara Strong a couple of times, you and her worked together for a little bit on Fairly Odd Parents. What was that like?
It's awesome. I've worked with Tara so many times. She's ridiculous talent and always throws me for a loop. She's really funny. She's a beautiful person. I knew her when I mentioned Extreme Ghostbusters. That was the first cartoon I think she booked in America. She's Canadian. Then she was Tara Sharondoff, and we just hit it off. We're good friends. I love her. I remember I worked with her on it was the Marvel superhero show. But all the characters looked like little dwarfs, dwarf versions. What was it called? I don't know. But she played this computer. It was like no dialogue. It was just like I can't do it. It's like you can do that too. She's ridiculous. Yes. All right, this side of the room. Anyone? Yes.
How intimidating are auditions for a Disney role?
A Disney role? I wouldn't use the word intimidating. It depends on the project. I would get excited, and I would try maybe a little harder. I usually live in Nashville, so I audition from home. So I record myself in my sound booth, and if I really want it, I'll scrutinize over it a little bit more. Although, for budding voice actors, I'd advise against that. I prefer to not rehearse. I prefer to just do it, because sometimes the best performance just happens. You can't lightning in a bottle. You can't recapture it. And when I perform, I try to do it different every time. which is it's fun for me. It's like, let me try it feeling like this, let me try it feeling like that. But I wouldn't say intimidating. And I've worked for the company for so long, but there are projects that I've read for, and I'm like, oh man, like I read for Aladdin, I read for Hercules, and those are intimidating because you have to go in to the studio and it's bigger room and you read from the directors and stuff. And I dig, Musker and Clements, they're one of my favorites. But you go in, you try your best, you roll the dice, you see what happens. Yes, young lady.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Great.
That's good. I was wondering, do you ever think about maybe moving into motion capture?
Man, like if I had a choice, like if I could, I would. That's another thing. Anyone know what mocap is? Yes, maybe?
Yes.
Okay. I would love to. I haven't had opportunities to do that. I think I auditioned for mocap video games 3 times. I did not book them. But I would love to. That's something I haven't done. I would love to do. Absolutely. It is awesome. Yes?
I have a question.
Yes.
Whenever you did the voice acting for Matt, do you
Yes.
think some of your personality or some of your antics was put into the character?
Oh, absolutely. Were any of my personality or say mannerisms?
Yeah.
Yes. So that's like, when you do a feature, it's a lot more of a process than a TV show. I recorded a Goofy movie over the course of a year. And they took a couple days and they put the camera on me. And I even recognize, Max, put his hand through his hair like that. I totally did that. Or, I shrugged my shoulders. I was 18 at the time, And then we did Extreme the Goofy movie. Did anyone see that one? Yeah. Max is like college age, and there's a scene at the end. Max is in a suit, and my buddy Alex is like, "He looks just like you, man." Probably. Yes.
Any cool gigs coming up?
Any cool gigs coming up? Oh no! I finished. YJ3 is happening. Young Justice 3. They released a whole trailer at Comic-Con, and people are showing it to me here, and it looks really cool. It's like a minute of old recap, and then a minute of new footage, and you can hear yours truly. They featured me. I was so super happy about that. I play Impulse, the speedster, now Kid Flash.
Spoilers.
Well, if you had to see them. Assuming you saw the second, you have to erase that. And the reason Marsden doesn't work for DC anymore is I recorded Max again for Disneyland Paris. He's got his own show at Disneyland Paris. It just came out. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube. It's pretty cool. And I am producing a show in Nashville called the Mars Variety Show. I got into these old variety shows in the 60s and 70s, like Laugh-In, Hee Haw, Carol Burnett Show. I was watching a lot of Dean Martin show. And it's funny, when I turned 40, I want to do that. I'm going to throw myself a variety show. I'll host it. I know a bunch of musicians here in Nashville. I know comedians, and I found this space. And the thing about Nashville is it's not just country, it's all kinds of music. And they're insane. They're so good. And they pour their guts out. Sometimes in a room of 6 people. And the performer in me is like, it's not right. You gotta pay attention to these guys. But it's not that they're jaded, but there's so much good music. So I created an environment where it was impossible to look away, impossible to check your phone, impossible to not pay attention. I started with an act on stage, the music. They were done, lights off stage, lights up at the bar. There's a skit at the bar. That's done, lights out bar, lights up stage left. And I would work the crowd, and I'd move through the crowd. And everyone had such a good time. What's up, Scary Bear? Have free hugs. Okay, all right.
Bear hug! Easy now. Easy now. God.
So long story short, my background's television. People loved it. We did 4 of them.
Yeah.
I could do this as a TV show, so I developed it. I've been working on this for years. We shot a pilot in June, and I'm pitching that as a thing. It'll be exclusively on the internet until someone puts it on streaming or maybe network. I don't know, but that's that's something I'm excited about. If you follow me on Instagram, which I love for you to, that's where I communicate the most and I post the most. Twitter a little bit, mostly Instagram. It's just at Jason Marsden. But if you want to find out about like the stuff I'm doing in Nashville, follow at Mars Presents, and I'd be happy to share with you some great music that maybe you haven't heard of. You know, Jose, what you got for me?
So I was working for the Secret Life Pets.
How was it working with The Secret Life of Pets? I'll tell you exactly how it was. It was me in a room with a bunch of other dudes. It was Jess Harnell.
Kevin Hart.
Sorry?
Kevin Hart.
No, I didn't work with any of the celebrities. What I did was called a loop group. And I did that for Monsters University as well. When a movie is finished, and they got everything recorded and mostly animated, they invite a bunch of actors to come in and kind of fill in all the other spaces. Like, for example, Monsters University took place on a college campus, so they needed college kids, like in the background, like, you know, playing ball or just talking. And then we do stuff like walk in a circle, and the microphone would be right here, and be like, oh man, I'm gonna be late for class. Oh hey buddy, throw me the ball. Stuff like that. Secret Life of Pets was like that. It was like an hour of my time, and you don't know if you're gonna hear you or not. In Monsters U, they used. You can hear me in one scene. Has everyone seen Monsters University? Oh, yeah. So there's the game where they're going through the maze and the flaps come out and they have to avoid the teenager. And one flap comes out, he's like, you know, nobody understands me. That's me. So that's like the goal of that. In Secret Life of Pets, I didn't hear anything. So, but my name's in the credits. Hey. Yes.
Okay.
Anyone? Hey, hold on. See, get a new person. You've asked a lot of. I love you. You're amazing. Yes, Robin.
Okay, so with voices, it's like characters like Max and Impulse. As you're talking, I can like hear parts of their voices.
Yes.
Just your regular voice. So like, is it weird for you to like see these characters and like hear yourself? Because it's like I know our voices sound different to ourselves.
No, it's way cool. I am one of those guys. I love watching the stuff I'm in. I love it. I love it. So I'm like, oh, that's cool, and it's cool. I mean, because you do it, it's like months later, and then you see how it's animated, and yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Yes, sir.
What was it like being in a Final Fantasy and being in a game in general?
Oh, jeepers Christmas. That was probably like the most confusing job I ever had. Final Fantasy 10 point something. It was frustrating because, for me, and I have to stop doing this. I don't sound like I'm a bitter actor. Like I know, like everybody would love to do what I'm doing. Why should I shit on it? Look, I had a great time because I love the people I worked with. But here's what I was up against. The dialogue was already recorded in Japan, and not animated, recorded. And I don't know why, but I had to match the exact timing of the actor that recorded the voice. And in Japan, they speak a lot faster. And the translation of speak a lot. So I couldn't really put a lot of me in there. I had to like truncate it. It was not, and it's not fun for me. Plus, the story was like way confusing. I have no idea. To this day, I have no idea. Do you know what happened in the game? I have no idea what happened in the game.
It's not good.
But it was a great gig. It was like 7 months of work. Again, I love the people I worked with. I got to do the sequel. I mean, I don't know. It was fine. It was fine. You okay with that answer? You still like the game?
I hate that game.
Oh, right, yeah. Yes, Rebecca.
Yes, so have you ever recorded in a booth with multiple voice actors, and is there a certain actor or voice actor that you dream to work with in the future?
Have I worked in a booth with a bunch of voice actors? Yes, that's my favorite. Every like Warner Brothers show I've done, like Static and Justice League, it's always like a group of people. Love, like I mean, you feed off the other energy, you know. As a voice actor, I'd love to work with. Man, I've worked with everybody. Man, I'm like, is there anyone I haven't worked with that I want to work with? I want to be on the Amazing World of Gumball. Can I say that? Oh, you know what? How about Rick and Morty? That'd be a fun show to work on. Oh, I just want to see Justin Roiland do that. I avoided that show for so long. I'm like, another one of these. And my friend's like, no, you gotta watch. And I watched the first episode.
It's funny.
And look, I'm just not into like shit humor and gross humor. And I'm like, oh, come on. And then I watched another episode, and then another episode, and now I'm in it. It's so good. I'm like, this is brilliant. Does that satisfy?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. Yes?
So you said earlier that you recorded a booth at your home in Nashville.
Yeah.
And I know that like Vic Mignogna mentioned having to do the same thing. Is that getting more common in the voice acting industry, or is it like?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know Vic very well. I don't know what else he's done. Does he live? Where does he live?
He lives in Summer.
Okay. So I don't know what the scene is out there. Is he?
I know a lot of them use them for auditions.
Yeah.
In home.
I'm sure.
Are better for that. But I don't know a lot that actually record it in their house for actual.
There's another guy. Who's the guy that did Yoda in the Clone Wars TV show?
Tom Kane?
Tom Kane. He lives in like Oregon or something like that. And I think he records from there. There are certain actors that do it right. Like I mean, I'll be candid. Like I've lost work because I just don't like going back to LA. And they want me to be there. And there is recording studios in Nashville. Certain companies will record me in Nashville. Certain companies I have to like fly in for a callback. I'm like, come on, I can't do that. I got a new life out here. And you know, I get it. I mean, like, who am I? I mean, like, there's plenty of other actors. There's so much more competition. You know, it's not. And also, I'm not like a Tara Strong or a Kevin Michael Richardson. So, so it depends on who you are, the region, or how hard you hustle. I guess I don't know. Yeah. Yes.
Do you have any memorable in the booth stories?
Memorable in the booth stories. They're all like. I mean, it's a PG-13 con, so I can't. I can tell you, watching, seeing Kevin Michael Richardson and Jim Cummings do like dueling Mike Tyson impressions can be pretty awesome. Pretty awesome.
Oh,
Kevin Michael Richardson also has a great for The Sopranos. He passed away.
Oh.
James Gandolfini. He does a spot on James Gandolfini. A lot of, I really, all the thing that's coming in my head is making me laugh. I'm like, I can't tell you. I'll never be invited back. Yes? Yes?
Not the sound booth, you have one set up. Would you, like, how would you describe, like, setting up a sound booth in your own home to record stuff? Like, it doesn't have to be, like, fancy, but just to make sure that the sound is right.
You can, look, I'm not a sound, like, file. I mean, I've done it from, like, underneath a blanket. But I have built a booth. You just need like layers of padding and sheetrock and textured foam, which you can get on Amazon. Put on the ceiling and everything. You just want the sound to like not bounce all over the place. You want to be centrally located. Yeah. I know a story I can share. It's not really in a booth. It's kind of in a booth. How much time do we have, by the way?
We've got like 10 minutes left.
10 minutes? Okay. One of the perks of doing what I do, and especially being Max, being part of the Disney family, is they fly us to Disney World to do like promos. And it was me and Bill Farmer, Russi Taylor, and the late great Wayne Allwyn. Russi's Minnie, Wayne is Mickey. They were married in real life. How cute is that, right? I know. You should have seen them together. I'm getting emotional thinking about it because Wayne was so awesome. Like he carried around a ukulele, and they would sit and do interviews as Mickey and Minnie, and they talk, and he's like, "Oh, we gotta I'm losing my voice." It's like, "Oh, we're gonna do a little song for you," and they'll do these little songs. So it was us. It was Susan Blakely, who is Wanda in Fairly Odd Parents. She's also Cruella de Vil. She's the voice.
Yes.
And I'm blanking her name. Don't hate me. She's now the voice of Cinderella. But it was all of us at Jennifer Hale. Thank you. All of us were invited to go to Disney Disney Radio to go on the radio. So we go there, and who do we meet? Julie Andrews, okay? So we're all like freaking out meeting Julie Andrews. She says hello, shakes hands, they leave, and then we go on the air. And, you know, we're a bunch of actors. We're just messing around, so we're on the air, like, in our characters, you know? And Bill Farmer is the voice of Goofy and Pluto.
Oh, yeah.
So he's doing Goofy, he's doing Pluto, and we have Cruella de Vil there. And what does Cruella like to do? She likes to kill animals and turn them into jackets. So she's ad-libbing that. And we think we're having a great time, and they go to commercial, and we're talking, and the DJ comes out, she's like, y'all, we just got a call from this mom. Her 4-year-old is crying because she thinks Pluto is going to be murdered by Cruella de Vil.
Oh boy, oh no.
So without missing a beat, Russi Taylor, Minnie Mouse, goes, I got this. We go back on the air. And as Minnie, you know, and Mickey saying like, hey, they get the girl to call in, they talk to her, and like, hey, how are you, sweetie? This one, you know, it's so nice to talk to you, and thank you for listening. And here, Pluto's right here. I mean, Pluto, Goofy, and Bill is barking as Pluto. And like, here's Cruella, and Cruella's like, oh, I didn't mean it, of course, I turned a new leaf. And as Minnie, she's like, we know that Cruella is she's really a good person on the inside. And just turn the whole thing around, and we were all just like bawling. And it really, I don't know why I'm getting emotional, but I mean, it really solidifies like why I'm here. Like, for you guys, it's thanks to you that we get to do stuff like this, because I get it. I get being in a room with people that I admire and hearing them talk and hearing them. When I worked with Peter Cullen. Who's Peter Cullen? Voice of Optimus Prime. My childhood, okay? All right? So I worked on a Rescue Bots cartoon. I played a Transformer and a human. It was awesome. And Peter doesn't, Peter's the man. He does his own thing. He doesn't record with us. He came in separately. I came in early just to meet him and work with him. And he's like a little taller than me. His natural voice is kind of high, he's very unassuming. He's got like a ranch in Colorado. We're talking about horses. He goes into the booth. He's like, okay, what's my first line? All right, Autobots. And I start crying. I'm like transported back to my 12-year-old self in my living room watching it. So I get it. It's like a privilege, to be part of this. So I think we got 5 minutes. Want to do a speed round of of questions? I'll do it in your face. Bam! Over here. I'm gonna go over here. All right. What you got?
How long did it take you to master the Goofy laugh?
Instantaneous. I watched Bill do it, and I just copied him. He kind of does. He puts his whole body. He's like, oh, yo. You do that? It's easy. Yes.
Did you ever do another movie with a big music star like you did with Tevin Campbell in a Goofy movie?
Yes, I would. Why wouldn't I? Next, yes. Favorite voice acting gig? It's like picking your favorite child. I can't pick just one. I'll say Rescue Bots at the moment because it's sentimental reasons. You ever do a job you just love everybody you work with so hard, that you should. It's not really my fault. Keep going. It's me, Maurice LaMarche, DC Douglas, Steve Bloom, Amari Williams, Shannon McCain, Lacey Chabert. We all get along so hard. Gino. We all get along so hard. We share a text thread. We travel together. We do brunches and stuff. Nicole Dubuque, who writes for My Little Pony, Star Wars. Love it. Sentimental stuff. Next. Yes.
Between the Goofy movie and Extreme movie, which is the most funniest moment for you?
Funniest moment for me is in a Goofy movie where Goofy's like, "Ooh, waterfall! Oh, waterfall!" Yes.
How does Goofy make the sound when he's falling?
It's like pure Bill magic. He'll do it for you. Yes.
What's your favorite song from any Goofy movie?
Favorite song from any Goofy movie? Eye to Eye. Did I do productions from
voiceovers for Disney No, all stuff was recorded in Los Angeles at various
recording studios around town. Some of them on Disney. No, who's got it? Yes.
Favorite Disney song in general?
Favorite Disney song in general? Poor Unfortunate Souls. Hold on, be on the mic. I have worked with both Kevin Conroy and Mark Hamill. And dude, talk about like work with your childhood. Like Mark is just a regular dude. He's a regular dude like you and me. And I can't work with him out. I'm sure the guy next to me going like, yes.
If you could be any Disney prince, which one would it be?
Disney Prince, I would be Eric, because I like mermaids. Oh, yeah. Villain. I would be Ursula, because that song is amazing. Any Disney princess? I'd be Moana.
I kind of got to switch that to your live action. Like,
Do it.
What was your favorite sitcom to work on in the 90s?
Could you speak louder in the mic, please? Sitcom to work on in the 90s. Again, it's like, I don't know, I mean, I like them all. Step by step, because they kept me on the longest. Good.
These are Giselle.
Yeah, right.
Why are you barefoot?
Why am I barefoot? Because I'm a hippie. See my toenails for crying out loud?
Pretty good.
We got time for one more? One more. Yes. I got it from Glam Nails in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Thank you so much. Thank you all so much. Thank you. Love you guys. Have fun.
You too.